No, I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you for the support throughout the year. I think without a lot of the media stuff, we wouldn't have the in-depth clubhouse conversations that we do.
Oh, really? What type of conversations are you having about us?
Oh, it's always something. I mean, between the start of the season with an enigmatic player to the rest of the season with talking about certain guys having guys on and spurring the conversation so I can talk as much crap about the rest of the team as I want.
Well, that's interesting. So were you hip to F it, we're the best team in the American League from your colleague Tim Anderson? He said it on this show.
Yeah,
right here.
we're the best team in the American League.
Yeah, the fact that he had to be goaded into it is a little disappointing.
It's true.
Right, he should just be able to come out with that and lead with that. That was our thought as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's right there with the first division to clinch. Let's take away the rest of it because we'll leave it at that. We don't have to talk about anything else. We'll leave it as the fact that we're the first team in baseball to clinch the division.
Well, if you want to talk any trash to any of your, to the Astros or anyone else right now, the floor is yours, Liam. We're happy to offer you that forum.
No, I always keep it close to the vest. I make sure to just make fun of our own team so that if they hear it, I mean, the fact that Tim had to be goaded into it is disappointing. The fact that I'm just going to go ahead and say the fact that we have now proven that we are the team to beat in the Central, that we have been, if we get every cylinder firing the right thing, we are the best team in baseball.
Well,
not just the American League, in baseball.
Best team in baseball if you get everything firing. See, that confidence and that swagger that you guys have, it's healthy, isn't it? And it sounds like despite what has been, kind of a bumpy few weeks or a couple of months even or whatever, it sounds like you guys still have it. You still feel like you're that good, all of you as a group?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have, I think we are cocky enough, we're arrogant enough in our own mentality, like at the field, during the games, that we know that no matter what happens, if both teams are hot at the same time, we will win that. That's the foregone conclusion with the stuff we have, the people we got. That's a foregone conclusion. Now, the last couple of weeks have been interesting. Now we're focusing on making sure that we can sweep the doubleheader today because that's about as good a momentum boost as you can get. And then we take into the last week of the playoffs, and whoever we play, I mean, there's always some teams that you can find that you need some retribution against.
Liam Hendriks with us on The Score. So we were watching you guys clinch as we were hosting the show, and it seemed like a relatively tepid, tame celebration. And you're talking about clinching the doubleheader. We were assuming you guys were all going to be drunk and they'd be playing the bench guys in this game. Can you take us inside the clubhouse? What's the celebration like?
Very mild because of the fact we know we have another game. This is actually the second time I've clinched after game one of a doubleheader. The first time was in 15 with the Blue Jays, but I've got a coffee in front of me. I'm preparing to go and pitch in game two because I need to keep my track record of pitching in over one game per doubleheader this year going. So there's that. But, yeah, I think everyone understands the fact that they don't want a repeat of last year. They don't want to come in, get so excited, do all this, and then kind of play the last week out as playing out. We'll be able to turn it on later. No, we need to turn it on right now and get that momentum going so that as soon as the playoffs hit, we're firing on all cylinders. We're running out there, and we're about ready to demolish some teams.
So you do that, Liam, and you say that you're in a situation where you're ready to demolish some teams and there's some retribution. What's on your list? Like, what's on your make-good list for coming up here in the playoffs?
Well, obviously we don't have any. We're not sure who we're playing. There's an idea against who we're playing currently. It's also the team that knocked me out last year when I was part of the Oakland A's, and there's always you're always going to get into that and start kind of going for that, but I said that last year and it didn't work because they wiped the floor with us. So I want to try and stay away from that as much as I can. But no, we've definitely got some people on the list, and we want to make sure that we go ahead and take out. And it doesn't matter who comes up against us. We're going to have that attitude that we're going to win that day and then move forward. And hopefully our goal now is to win the last game that we played this year. You've pitched against the Astros twice this year, Liam Hendriks. 6 plate appearances. You struck out 4 guys, haven't given up a hit. So that's not an issue this year. I love, it's interesting. You were on the other side in knocking these guys out in that first round. And that's obviously a fear. Nobody wants that. What can you offer your teammates in terms of words of experience here in your, 5th time into the playoffs for Liam Hendriks? What can you offer them about that first round out and how to avoid it? Yeah, I think honestly, getting knocked out last year is going to be the biggest experience booster you can have. Very rarely do a team make it for the first time and do something incredible. It doesn't happen very often. You need to kind of soak in the experience. You need to be able to learn from it and kind of move with it. And that's the biggest thing that we can happen. But I've been harping on it all year, is making sure that as soon as, if we clinch or if whatever happens, that we don't take our foot off the pedal. There is no coasting to the end, because you can't just flick a switch and be ready to go again. We need to make sure that everything we do now, from now on, is building momentum for that first series. And that's the biggest thing that I think I've been harping on, a lot of the guys have been harping on that were here last year, is making sure that, hey, look, we're not doing all this for what happened last year to happen again. We're going to make sure we come out and we're ready to go game one. And look, if it is the Astros, they are one of the better playoff teams in baseball. There's no doubt about it. I mean, in Oakland last year, we beat them, I think they won a game maybe against us during the regular season, and then absolutely wiped the floor with us in the playoffs. They have a different level that they can turn to. And right now, that's the level we're getting to. We need to make sure that we're at that level because, as I said earlier, on paper, we can compete with any lineup, any rotation, any bullpen. We can compete and we can win.
Liam, when you called in, we were talking football with Dave Wanstedt, longtime coach of the Bears, former defensive coordinator for the Cowboys when they won the Super Bowl, Miami, the U. He's in studio. He wants to talk to you. Go ahead, Coach.
Hey, Liam, first of all, congratulations. And let me start by saying I am not an expert by any means, but I am a fan. And here's my question for you. What you do for baseball reminds me of field goal kickers, what they do for football, okay? Now, here's my question. What's your golf game?
Oh, man.
Are you a golfer? What's your handicap, Liam?
I am not a golfer, but I can – let's put it this way. If we win the World Series, okay, I'm going to come out and I'm going to out-kick your kicker.
Okay.
Not kicker. Let's go punter. Let's go punter. I can kick a football a decent way. So when we do that, I'm going to put it on the line. We'll raise some money for a charity of whoever's choosing. Whoever wins takes the pot for that charity.
Hey, Wani, Liam's dad, an Australian rules football star, right, Liam?
We have to we'll get the Bears involved in that and the kickers. That's awesome. No, and the reason
last time I kicked against somebody, it was the kicker for the Raiders, who then I think got delisted after I out-kicked him in spring training. So.
Well, you would have done that to a bunch of my kickers, so I'm glad you weren't here when I was coaching. But the reason I asked you that, in all seriousness, most field goal kickers are very good golfers. And I don't know if it's because they have extra time on their hands when everybody else is working, or they always talk to me, well, Coach, it's the focus and concentration and the pressure that when I get one, it's to win the game. And that's what you do. When you go in, I mean, you're the game closer. You're the game winner for them. And that's, boy, I admire that. A lot of pressure on you that people probably take for granted.
Yeah, I mean, you look at pressure, that builds diamonds, right? And that's the way, if you can handle it, you can handle it. It's a tough job out there. It's something that I don't think everybody can sometimes handle, but it's one of the things that I love because being a pressure cooker is where you want to be. You want to have that game on your line. You want to have that game on your shoulders. As a kid, you never think about, in baseball, you never think about, okay, well, I'm just going to be the guy who gets on base for the guy who's going to hit that game walk-off homer in Game 7. As a kid, I was like, I'm going to be on the mound and I'm going to strike this guy out for Game 7 with a loaded bases, 3-2 count. I'm coming in and I'm doing that. I guarantee it's the same for the kickers. They envision, like, post-game, like, at the end of the game, siren's gone. You got one more play. This kick wins it or loses it. That's the situation you want to be in. That builds character, and it's some interesting guys you have to find. And generally, a lot of us tend to be a little weird.
All the kickers are weird. Yeah, they're all weird kickers. Absolutely.
Like hockey goalies.
There you go.
Yeah.
It takes a special mind to be a closer. Hey, Liam, when Craig Kimbrell is struggling like he is now, do you get in there and try to help too, along with Ethan Katz, along with Craig? He's a smart guy. He's struggled before, but when he's trying to fix himself, do you offer yourself as help if he needs it?
If he needs it, if he asks, it's something that I don't. He's been doing this a lot longer than I have, so it's like a Padawan trying to teach a Jedi Master how to use a lightsaber. I'm going to be learning a hell of a lot more from him than he's going to be learning from me. But if it comes up, then I'm all ears. I'm all like whatever I do. But he's not one of the guys I ever have to worry about. Even though the fact he's there's been some base runners, but it's not as if like he should have been out of that inning earlier with a double play turned. It is what it is. I don't think his struggling is the right word for him. It's just getting that consistency back with the location, and once that comes back, he's going to be electric. And look, this is a guy who's won a World Series ring. This is a guy who is one of the greatest closers of all time. We have no qualms, no doubts in his ability, and it'll be back soon, and everyone will be talking back to that time they ever doubted Craig Kimbrell.
Liam, we've had Ruby, your tarot card reader, on the show since the last time we talked to you. She did readings for all of us. Will you be seeing her before the playoffs?
So we actually just saw her in Texas because that's where she's living right now. So she came to the hotel and was able to do some Reiki on me there. And it's amazing where she's doing all this stuff, and it's very just above you. And then all of a sudden she's like, yeah, I feel something here, here, and here. I'm like, yeah, well, that's everywhere I'm currently hurting. So she's locked in on that. But it helps you get a little right. We've got some of the other players joining on board. I think Ryan Burr had a call with her the other day. I think Joe McEwing's getting into it as well. It's starting to trend here. So it's great for everyone involved. But I guarantee you we'll be in contact before the playoffs start because, I mean, yeah, you can never be too ready to go for a playoff game.
All right, so you said that, you give crap to guys in the clubhouse. I mean, I'd imagine maybe that's something that they would give crap to you on, but like, who do you want to talk a little bit of trash to right now in your own clubhouse so that they can hear it and you guys can, be on edge and be at your best heading into the postseason?
Oh, I mean, we got a few guys that I could always blast a little bit. Obviously, the go-to one for me is TA because I think I ever need to bring him down a step just from where he's at. Yeah, I mean, it only took him a month to hit a couple homers. I mean, it's about time.
That's true.
Then there's Billy Hamilton, who he just keeps telling me to get him, and Brian Goodwin keep telling me to get to the bullpen before I go out there, and I'm sick of it. I've had enough of them. They both need to figure it out. I mean, let's be honest. I weighed as much as Billy when I was 7, so we can figure that out. And then and then Goody just needs to look at the stat pack to know what I've done against him in the past. So it's I got the bragging rights on all three of them, I think. So it makes it a little easier. But if they listen to this, suck it, you three. I'm better.
Perfect. Yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I like it.
How about Eloy with the great plays out there in left field? He's really turned into a very graceful athlete out there, don't you think, Liam?
I'm just happy he didn't dive on the ball today. Keep it in front. Let me figure it out. And then Moncada helped me out by just getting the one out on that ball so I could get the strikeout to finish the game off because it looks way better in the box score and it looks way better in a video form when you see we clinched with a strikeout.
Hey, Liam, we have really enjoyed getting to know you. This whole town has. And congratulations on a division championship. And it's so glad that you are enjoying your teammates as much as the fans are enjoying you, man.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. This is a game that we do. It's not just solely for us or anything else. This is a fans' game, and we appreciate everyone coming out. And I can't wait to hear the fans when we get there for a playoff game. Since, as you guys said, the first time since 2008, which is going to be pretty exciting, having a home field advantage in a stadium like Chicago's. I'm pretty pumped, and I know my wife's excited about rocking the black and silver and jamming out because she showed me a video of her vibrating after the last out today. She's here and celebrating, and I think they're at the bar getting blitzkrieged right now. So,
well, that's the thing. I feel a little gypped. Like normally, if I interview a player after they've clinched something, they're a little buzzed. When you guys win the division series, you got to come back on the show after a couple of cocktails or a couple of beers in hand. All right, we got to keep the tradition going.
That's going to be physically impossible because I don't drink. So
okay, well, perfect. You're right. Then now
I'll be about 6 shots of espresso deep and buzzing around like a bee. Then how's that one work?
That's absolutely perfect. You could paint the picture for the clubhouse. Thank you, Liam.
There you go.
Thanks, man. Have a good one. Congratulations again.
Cheers, fellas. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Liam Hendriks from Cleveland.